want to jump right into one of the questions I got this week. A couple of them I just emailed the answer back, but this one I thought would have broader appeal, and that is the ratio between gold and silver that you hear all the time. People are saying it's 80-1, where gold is 80 times more valuable than silver, is like a once in a lifetime purchase. And certainly, if you look at history, that would be true, and it could even get bigger. But let's talk about that for a minute, because the guy that wrote the thing I'm answering is, he said, what do you think the fair ratio is? And I can say, well, I've seen it 16-1, 30-1, 50-1, and 80-1. And I think the most reliable one is 50-1. And so when right now where gold's 80 times more valuable than silver, we have clients that are selling some of their gold holdings and buying silver because they think there's more leverage. And certainly I agree with that on the long term and midterm, but on the short term, I'm not sure that it is. So I don't want people running out selling their gold to buy silver. But on the other hand, we do look at this as an incredible opportunity for that. So if you start looking at right now, let's take it for instance, you got an 80-1, and if gold went to 1,500 and silver went to 30, then gold would have gone up about 15%, but silver would have gone up 60 or 70%. So, that's the most thing I hear, is that gold's going to go to 1,500 this year, and the silver is going to come to 30 this year, 1/50th of where it is now. So I look at that and say, yes, certainly that is a historical perspective. And the ones I don't like are the 16-1s, because that goes back to 1980, when gold hit 800 and actually went on up midday to about 850, and silver got to $50 an ounce on the Hunt brothers fiasco. So you really, if you said 16-1, you multiplied 50 times 16, that was 800. And I wouldn't use that one at all. I don't think that one is one to use, but certainly you can. And then others like to use the 32-1, and that goes back to a silver dollar and an ounce of gold in 1971, when Nixon closed the window and gold started trading in the free market again. So a silver dollar was $1 and an ounce of gold was $32. So that's a 32-1 ratio. Once again, that's not the one I would use. But the 50-1, we have much more time from the 1980s through the 90s and through the 2000s, where 50-1 was it may get to 45, 55, but it stayed in a range, and it was kind of dependable on that until we started getting these large short positions in silver, that you can't move the market that much in gold. And even though you see manipulation in gold, it's nothing like what you see in silver. So I want to just say that question is 50-1 the target. Now, will it get there soon is the second part of the question. The answer can be one of two things. I sent out on my mailing a couple of weeks ago where you could follow the COT or the COT short positions in silver, and they've been going down every week now for 3 or 4 weeks. And we've been seeing silver go up, and it's certainly a big jump the last few days. So if you look at that, then silver, if the shorts keep going down, then people remove them. And then if JPMorgan or someone like that still has large short positions comes out to try to help their long position, and they want silver to go up because they own more physical silver than anybody else. So you could go over and say, when they go out from short positions and they go long in the futures market, and it drags up their physical and all of our physical in value, is that going to happen? The answer is yes. We know they went long silver from 2000 to 2011. We saw JPMorgan betting on silver going up for like 11 straight years. So now we've had 4 years, them betting it's going to go down, over 5 years with it going down, but we know they'll go back the other way. So yes, you could be safe by, if you were heavily into gold, taking some out in putting over there, because that could happen first. But on the flip side of it, with all the talk about the Chinese yuan backed by gold coming out before the summer, and some are saying as early as next week or two. But then you've got these cryptocurrencies that are being developed to be gold backed. They're being developed by Canada and Australia and England are all developing a cryptocurrency backed by gold. And of course, banks are going to have to get involved in that because they're going to have gold if they're going to be a player in the world financial markets. So it's going to put pressure as they have to buy gold in the open market to meet mine and your demand, because why would we leave money in a bank when we can have gold back, when the FDIC has very little assets to back the amount they have insured just in the American banking system? And certainly we've already heard about Bailin. We've seen banks now by law, the next time a bank cracks, they can take money out of your bank account and you have no legal recourse. So we're seeing clients flooding into metals that are just getting their money out of banks, getting their money waiting on a gold-backed crypto to put some into. Meanwhile, they're sitting in physical metal that has very little, if any, down risk at this point. Now, gold, if it takes off first, the ratio could get wider. If gold goes up because some crypto is announced or the Chinese yuan is backed by gold in the next few weeks, then gold could take off. We're going to have a 100-to-1 ratio. Both of them, in my opinion, are going to go way up. Not only this year they're going to have a good year, they're going to have a better year next year when all these things get rolling. And we in America realize our bonds are becoming worthless. They're even talking about downgrading our bonds. And now we can't even sell our debt at auction. The Federal Reserve is having to buy part of our rollover debt every month. So you've got to position yourself. But it was a good time, and I do appreciate the questions. You can send them to me by my email at tgcloud@bellsouth.net, or you can go on cloudhardassets.com and send me a question off of that or a subject you would like to hear covered. If you'd like to talk to us about some of the silver specials and gold specials we have, we're putting them out, but right now we're selling them before we can even get them out. You can reach us at 800-247-2812. That's 800-247-2812. And the ones of you that'll be at the summit here in May, I'm looking forward to seeing you and bring you questions you don't have answered, and we'll answer those for you while we're at the Follow the Money Summit coming up in late May. With this week's Precious Metals Market Update, this is Tom Cloud signing out.